Hi there everyone! Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. This is Paperly Charm, and I just wanted to start this YouTube channel to document my journey. I've always wanted to open up a sticker shop. That's just something that's always interested me because I love drawing on my iPad Pro. I wanted to learn more about how to draw, build those skills, and also learn my own style. And so part of that first step is the research, and this is what this video is going to be about. Full disclaimer, I am not an expert. This is just my own journey and my own research to start my own business. So to start off, I did a lot of research on YouTube. I went to check out a bunch of different artists that I enjoy watching. Some of them do have sticker shops, some of them have bullet journaling videos, videos on making keychains or other crafts that I'm also interested in, but more so in the future. Right now, it's just about creating stickers and the first step to do all of that. I wanted to check them out because I wanted to see what their journey was like, what kind of products they're using, how they do stickers on their Procreate app and send them over to their cutting machine, whether that's the Cricut or the Cameo, and kind of the packaging experience and any kind of business advice that they might have had. And so I feel like I learned a lot from all of these videos. I took bits and pieces from each of these videos and artists. And from this, I've made the final decisions for Paperly Charm, the packaging experience, the products I want to use with my sticker shop, and much more. And so this video is going to talk a little bit about each of those items and the things that I need to invest in. So the following is just a very basic list of the items that I think I would need to get started with my own business. And so the next step was to research each of these items. So here I'm just looking at best printers for sticker shops. I noticed in a lot of the YouTube videos that I watched that some people use Canon Pixma printers, some people use Epson printers. I didn't really see a lot of people using HP printers, which I have an old HP inkjet printer. They do recommend that you do use an inkjet printer because it's a lot more useful when making stickers and printing on sticker paper or any kind of weatherproof, waterproof sticker paper. So that's what I was going for when I was researching for a new printer. Printers are not cheap. They are very, very expensive, especially if you want a new one and to invest in one for your business. I do always recommend getting something that's going to last a little bit longer and that's going to be cost efficient. And so this is the Epson ET8550. It's a wide format all in one. So it does have a scanner, it does have Bluetooth, it's wireless. It does have it doesn't have cartridges, but it does have ink bottles, which the box does come with according to the specifications. They have two different versions or sizes. So they have the regular, letter size, and then they have a wider format for larger prints. This was one that was a top contender when I was researching. I know a lot of different sticker shops, especially the most popular ones, do have the Canon Pixma printers, but I do remember getting a lot of feedback about those. And during my research in the YouTube videos, I noticed that a lot of people were complaining about the cost of ink and going through the ink so quickly because they do have cartridge ink. So it was something that was always on my mind, especially because I'm very like eco-friendly and want to make sure that the environment is taken care of, but also that I'm being cost efficient when it comes to printing and stuff like that. So here you can see the Epson ink cartridges, well, not ink cartridges, but ink bottles that they come with. Epson does recommend that you use their inks just because of the warranty if anything should happen in the future. The next one I did research still was the Canon Pixma. Very early on, this is the printer that I was leaning towards. It's a lot cheaper than the Epson, as you can tell. Um, it does have great print qualities, just as the Epson does, but this one is meant more for like picture quality, crisp, beautiful printouts. Has very many different tints and of colors for printing. It has a lot of different features that you can use when working with it, especially if you're going to be printing pictures or anything like that that's going to require a lot of ink. So this one was very popular, is very popular amongst a lot of artists and especially photographers. It's also an inkjet, and I was wanting to get this one because it was cheaper and it would be less costly from the get-go, but two, because it seemed very popular amongst people with sticker shops. That was one of the ones that I was really looking forward to getting. And when I started looking into the ink, I noticed the ink was a lot more expensive than the Epson ink. Again, these are cartridges, so there's not as much ink in the cartridges as the ink bottles, but it was something that you definitely have to think about. So then I started to look up cutting machines. When I was looking at YouTube videos online, I saw people using Cricut machines. I saw people using the Silhouette Cameos, whether that was the Portrait or the Cameo 4 or the new one that just came out, Cameo 5. And there was a lot of different feedback for both. There's kind of like a little war going on between Cricut and Silhouette right now with, what people want to use more so over the other. But I found that the Cricut Maker 3 was very popular as well as the Portrait. They do have different bundles on their website that you can get. You can get the machine only, or you can get the machine with some items bundled in. Typically, it's like vinyl stuff. I'm not really using vinyl, so I didn't think that would be an option for me. It is $100 more if you do decide to get the bundle, but for my research, I was only looking at the machines. So this does work Bluetooth. It connects very easily to Mac if you're using iOS, which I am. So I thought that that was something of a perk if I were to get the Cricut. They have a lot of different items that they can cut, and it seemed to be very, very popular. The only thing that was negative about the Cricut was the fact that people constantly had to calibrate it or recalibrate it or fix the registration marks and struggling with the cut lines and stuff like that. And so to me, that was a lot of stress that I did not need. It was definitely a top contender when I was looking, but it is a very good machine. A lot of people have it. It's a good starter machine and it's very cheap. A lot of people who have their own business typically upgrade to a newer version and they'll sell their older version for really cheap on, Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Then I was researching the Silhouette Cameos, which are sold in many different areas and stores just like Cricut, but you could also get it from their website, and they have many different options when it comes to the cutting machine. Um, I was looking at the Cameo 5 for my business, and they have many different color options as well as machine size, and it runs around the same, or if not a little cheaper than the Cricut. But they also have different options that you can cut with and things that you can cut with the machine, whether that's cardstock, regular sticker paper, vinyl. It does cut up to 16 feet in length, which is what I was looking for. Um, Especially if you want to cut more of a longer sticker sheet versus a regular letter size sticker sheet. That's something that might be useful. And they have some items included in the box as well. So they have that cutting mat, They have a roll feeder, which is nice. And it's very slick. It's very clean cut, basic looking, but from what I gathered in my research on YouTube, a lot of people that have the Cameo felt that it was just a lot easier to handle and there wasn't a lot of recalibration needed when you got it right out of the box. So that was a plus. So most of my other research went off into Amazon, and that was for shipping supplies, storage items, envelopes, sticker roll holders, any kind of shipping labels type stuff or packaging materials, as well as any mini storing items for stickers or sticker paper. And so Amazon is probably the best place to go to for that. And so when I was researching sticker paper, I did hear about a lot of different brands when I was watching YouTube videos. And so some of those were this vinyl sticker paper, which is called Small Smile. As you can see, it comes with 20 white sheets. So at $8.97, you can do the math when it comes to the cost per sheet. But this was one that was popular amongst some artists. For sticker paper, it seemed to be very popular. It has a really good rating on Amazon. And so that might be something that would be useful for your business. I also looked into the Koala inkjet sticker paper, which also is very popular online with YouTubers. It also does have a really good rating on Amazon and was very popular, but I still kept researching and came to this HTV Ront printable vinyl sticker paper, which is 29 a count at $28.99. So it's a little bit pricier. The other one I researched was Online Labels. Now, Online Labels was the most popular among sticker shop owners, and it is very easily um, attainable. You can find it on Amazon or you can go to their own website as well. The next thing I looked into was envelopes. Now, to get your envelopes, you need to know the size of your products. So, whether you're going to have small sticker sheets, large sticker sheets, the size of any kind of thank you cards you might send has to come into account. If in the future you want to sell art prints or anything like that, that might be a square size. You want to account for all of that and the type of envelope that you'll need for that. When researching, you always want to make sure that you also look at the amount that you're getting and the price per count so that you can include that in your price for your product. So when I was looking at envelopes, I did look at different types. I looked at A9 and A6 size envelopes. I really like the look of the brown craft envelope, so that's what I was leaning towards and what I was researching the most. I also looked at packaging for stickers and kind of researched that and what different YouTubers do when they package their items. I found that a lot of people just use regular envelopes. If you want to get super extra, people use little twine or tissue paper. Tissue paper with their own branding on it is being used a lot. Some people use regular tissue paper from the store with no branding on it. Some people use little glassine bags or little plastic bags. So during this type of research, I was definitely looking at the more eco-friendly type of packaging. I wanted it to be biodegradable, good for the environment, easy to find, as well as cost efficient. So I was looking at the amount I was getting and the price per count because, again, that's going to be included in the pricing of the product when you're setting your price points for your clients. So that is another very important aspect that you have to remember to look at as you're researching and documenting all of these things. Glassing bags are very popular when I was looking at packaging videos, ASMR videos of packaging on YouTube, which I really enjoy. But that was very popular and they're also very eco-friendly. They can be found mostly anywhere, so it's very easy to attain some glassine bags. So that was another option I was looking at just to make sure, if it rained, stickers wouldn't be damaged. Another option over the glassine bags, and that might be cheaper, was glassine sheets. So apparently there's different places that sell glassine sheets in different sizes, whether that's, 12 by 12, 24 by 36, regular letter size glassine sheets. Amazon does have those. I would say they're a little bit on the pricier side on Amazon, especially if you're trying to buy in bulk. So, and they're a lot longer, so you'd have to have some kind of guillotine machine to cut them. I also looked at these sticker rolls thinking I would manufacture out thank you stickers, but these are very popular, as well as these label printers were very popular on Amazon and on YouTube. I wasn't sure about what my shipping would look like, if I was just going to use snail mail, regular stamps, or shipping labels, so that's still in the air. Through all this, I made sure I made an Amazon list of favorites for my business and included all of the items I was looking at in there. These were the round thermal label printers that I could use with the label maker if I got it. So I could print out my own thank you stickers if I wanted to. Or I could also create my own design and print those out through a manufacturer or by myself. I also looked at storage. I live in a one-bedroom apartment with my boyfriend, and so this is a must. We have very little space, especially with all the equipment that's going to be coming in. And so I wanted to make sure we had stuff to store everything in once the business really takes off. These are being used a lot. I did get a couple of them. They are 2 by 3 each individual little drawer. I actually would go back and not purchase these. I would actually purchase something a little bit bigger, especially if you want to make die cut stickers that are bigger than 2 by 3. I looked at different shipping option and costs. So obviously I'm in the United States, in Texas, and so USPS was one of the first items that I searched. I looked at regular letter stamp, and so essentially for regular letter stamp, you have to use 1 4 stamp per ounce. So depending on the weight of your package, that is how many stamps need to go on there. A lot of people do recommend getting that stamp machine that you can just weigh and stamp on your own in your, living area, or you can just purchase stamps and send it that way. I do already have a kind of letter weight scale that I use. It's in storage right now, but I think it's something that I'm going to be pulling out of storage to use for this. Looking at stamps, if you buy them in bulk, obviously are not going to be cheap. The booklets are very cheap. They're like 13 bucks a booklet. And so here, just looking at the regular forever stamps, there's many different designs. You can go cutesy, you can go patriotic, you can go by holiday, woodland animals, love stamps, stuff like that. And you can see a book of 20 costs $13.60. Now, if you want to buy in bulk later down the line, once your business takes off, they are a little bit more costly. Like here you can see the regular forever stamps that have the United States flag. A coil of 100 is 68 bucks. That goes all the way up to like a coil of 10,000 at 6,800 bucks. So just something to take into account when you're researching shipping options. I also looked at this website called Shippo. It's a website that a lot of different business owners in the sticker shop industry use. They have starter, professional, premium memberships, and depending on what you need, that's what you can go for. Again, this is something that you have to invest in and something that you have to include in your pricing when you're setting pricing for your items and products with your clients. This is a very popular site. It's something that I'm really looking into and I'm thinking I might use eventually in the future to make things easier on me because you can print shipping labels right from this and it tracks everything for you and has tracking and whatnot over regular stamp mail, snail mail. So this is a big option that I'm looking into. The next thing I researched was Canva. I'm really familiar with Canva. I use that a lot for work or other personal items. And so Canva is a website that you can use just to design different things, such as any kind of labels that you want to print on your envelopes or any kind of thank you cards. Procreate is the app that I use when I design my stickers. I have the iPad Pro 2020 generation with the second generation Apple Pencil, and I found that it works great. I don't feel like I need to buy the new iPad or the new Apple Pencil. Why fix something if it's not broken? So I'm going to continue using what I'm most comfortable in, and that's what I've been recommending um, if you decide to start this on your own as well. I also looked into Printify and kind of used Printify for a little bit. I think I will go back to it eventually, if not Shopify, once I want to expand into clothing. At this moment, my focus is just sticker making, but this is an option. They have different memberships as well. And then if you want to start off in your own website or marketplace. And so I did look at Etsy. Etsy, though, has been getting a lot of bad rap. Their fees are going up. So not only do you have to pay 20 cents per posting every 4 months, but they also take a percentage of your sale. So they, right now, I think are at 6.5% of your sale. So when you really think about it, that's a lot of money that they're taking. Here you can see the transaction fees as well, plus the processing fees. So that in and of itself is so much money that you're not seeing. So I definitely wanted to go to Etsy because they have their own marketplace and search engine, but I definitely leaned more so towards building my own website. And so I looked at different website builders. The reason being that I was going back and forth is that it's a lot more difficult to build your audience when you have your own website, especially if you don't already have a following. So if you don't have a following on social media, then it's going to be really hard to get sales. I say if you go this route, definitely be patient, show yourself some grace. I did look at Squarespace when I was looking at website builders. It's a very popular website builder and it's very, modern and clean and very pretty actually. This is definitely one of my top three contenders. They seem to make it very easy for people to build their own website. They have their different templates. And then you can also transfer your domain. Like if you already have a domain through something else, which I do, I have it through GoDaddy, which I don't really want to use GoDaddy anymore as far as my website builder due to their transaction fees and whatnot. But Squarespace is one that if you do want to go with them, you can transfer your domain over to them. In addition to that, they have different subscription options for whatever you might need: personal, business, commerce, basic, and commerce advanced. And so for this, I was looking at commerce basic because you can see that when you sell your products or services, they charge a 0% transaction fee for physical products and services. And so that was just a huge selling point because not only they're not taking the 6.5% that Etsy is, but they're also not doing a transaction fee. They might have processing fees though, so you just have to make sure that you do your own research. This is just what I found, and I might not know everything on this. This is just so far where my research has taken me, but I thought that this was like a huge gold star for Squarespace. Definitely one that I am going to look more into once deciding kind of what website builder I want to use. Shopify is also its own website builder and store, and they also have very many different membership options for you, whether you pay monthly or yearly. This is one that one of the YouTubers I watch uses. I think her name is Julianne Doodles. And with Squarespace, I think Apple Cheeks use Squarespace. Don't quote me on that. Go watch their YouTube channels on that. I know they talk a lot about their website builders and their own websites. But Shopify is something that's very similar to Printify. And so you can have your own store within Shopify. And they seem to mesh very well with different social media marketplaces like Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. And so that might be a good option. The only thing with this is, that you still have those transaction processing fees and whatnot that you can see here on the slide over Squarespace. Once you get to that higher membership for commerce, they don't have it. The other one I looked at was Wix. Wix is a very basic website builder. Not a lot of people use it. It's more on the low end. As you can see here, it's a lot cheaper if you're paying monthly. The business part is recommended if you're obviously going to sell items and products. They do accept payments. They have standard e-commerce. You have that free domain for 1 year. A lot of storage space. The only bad thing that I heard about this was that you don't really, they don't really have a lot of different templates. It's a little bit more, um, I wouldn't say user friendly, but more, you have to kind of know how to code a little bit because it's so easily customizable is what I've heard. And so if you want to uber customize your website, this might be an option for you versus where you're using Squarespace or Shopify. They have their own templates. But they also are a huge contender and one of my top 3 options right now. I still haven't decided which one I want to go with, but I will say at this point in time, Wix is my number 2. I will say Squarespace and Shopify are battling it out for number 1. They're tied right now. I'm not sure which one I want to go with. But Wix is definitely one that if I want to be a little more on the cheap side and be gracious to my wallet, might be one that I would go with. So if that's something that you're looking for, this would be a good one to go with. So last but not least, the cost of everything. So the first list here is going to be production cost and product pricing. You have to figure out your final products and supplies, your cost per count for each item that you're going to be using for each shipping item. You also want to make sure that you're pricing your products based on the niche that you're going to be selling in, but also making sure that once you do research and figure out that pricing, you set a comparable or competitive price towards your products that you're going to be selling because you want to make sure that you still stay competitive, but that you're not too expensive or too cheap and underselling yourself. So just making sure you're doing your own research and setting your prices accordingly. So now comes the fun part, investing your own money into your business. So this next screen is going to show the list of the items that I chose so far. Website is not on here yet, but I got the Epson printer at $800, Silhouette Cameo at $329.99, online labels 500 sheets of the 11 by 17 for sticker sheets at $113.83. Glassine sheets, those are 12 by 12 and it's for 500 at $25. A6 and A9 envelopes, each around 200 per pack. Both of those together come to 45 and then storage at 45. So as you can see, that's a hefty price that I have to save up for. And that is my own money. That is not anything sponsors are giving me or anything like that. So I do have a lot of saving up to do. Good thing my grand opening isn't until October of this year. So stay tuned for everything as well as unboxing videos and ask me any questions you might have. See you guys later.